Comics Curing Cancer is an official campaign for the American Cancer Society. Three of us YouTubers got together, came together like butt cheeks, and we developed events in order to raise money for the American Cancer Society. We do a 3-day event in October across numerous platforms with numerous events just to make straight cash for the American Cancer Society. All volunteers, all donations, and this is our halfway point to that event.
We have some amazing books. We curate an art book, and this process starts as early as October after the first auction ends, or the big auction, the YouTube 3-day event ends, and fantastic artists donate art to these art books. Artists like Chad Schudel, Rodney Fike has donated in the past, just fantastic artists. So this year we put together, it's one art book with 5 different variant covers, and then we have the cover A done by the phenomenal Bart Sears. You know him from Turok and Exo Manowar, early Valiant stuff. So Bart Sears did this, phenomenal. And then this is the cover B done by Martin Zavala, the airbrush god. He's also here at Heroescon signing these. He's a great friend of mine. So we have this, and then we also have the original art on display in the background. So that's the cover B. The cover C, Stephanie Lavad, a fantastic artist out of France who's a cancer survivor herself. Oh, s'il vous plaît. Yeah. She did phenomenal on this. Now, fortunately for us, unfortunately for some of the customers that came by the booth, we are sold out of the Matt Wilson Absolute Batman and the Austin LeMay Absolute Joker, which is phenomenal for us. And I just can't be proud. Mark, you want to tell them about the Mark Spears?
I do. So Mark Spears, we had the opportunity to talk to him a handful of times over the past couple of years. He knows about the event, and he's one of the nicest dudes on the planet. And in talking to me, he wanted to do something, so he's like, I definitely would love to do a book for y'all. So I talked to him. He gave us our very own exclusive for issue number 10 of Monsters. Yes. So when I say exclusive, we are the only people with this book other than Mark having a couple of copies. So issue number 10 came out. He printed the whole 500 print run, King Spot sent it straight to us, and we have it here at the table. We did a few pre-sales for the Jokers that couldn't come to Heroescon. They're crazy, and they sold out instantly on the pre-sales.
Insane in the membrane.
And they're already selling for $160, $165. So the FMV, the genuine FMV on that book at the time of the show right now is a little bit over $160. We kept them at $20 because that was the intended goal, is to sell off 500, $20. Y'all know math. And other people, if they see that high price on eBay and they want to get one because of that, that just means we hit our goal faster and they get something and can feed their family in the process.
Absolutely. And we've seen people come by, grab one, walk away, come back 10 minutes later, grab another one. We know what they're doing. They're going on their phone. They're going on eBay. It is what it is.
That's what we want them to do. If you can help someone with cancer and feed your family at the same time, that's people helping people, and that's a powerful thing. Go to Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram or Facebook. We're going to start posting now after Heroescon. We start gearing up, making announcements, calls for helps and everything about getting geared up for October. In October, we're looking for original art, comic book donations, not your dollar books, not the stuff you don't want, stuff that you would like to buy or think other people would like to buy. It has to be items of, what's the term we use?
Not significance, but we don't want your trash.
Yeah, we don't store books in a warehouse and hope one day we can dollar bin them out. It has to be stuff people would want to see.
Yeah, things that are desirable.
If you're an artistic talent, message us, show us some of your stuff. We'll have art shows in October. We'll have comic auction shows. We'll have art auction shows. There's all kinds of shows of varieties, guys. It runs for 3 days, all through the day, and hopefully overnight with some of our international help.
It is Friday. It is Stash Wars Live. Mike the Sig Slayer here with my homeboy, SCG Jason, the Southern Comic Geek. How's it hanging, man? What's going on?
Man, it's been wild going from one plane ride to the next, but excited to be here tonight talking with you about Heroescon in particular.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been flying around like Johnny Quest and Raji, man, with Bandit. But yo, we are going to unpack everything that's Heroes. Let us know in the chat if you was up at Heroescon It was my first time in Charlotte. So that means it was definitely my first time at that con. It was fantastic. I can't believe my expectations were exceeded. You know, I've been to all kind of shows, and I can't believe this one was one where I was just like flabbergasted. I mean, from the hotel to being right across the street to Charlotte itself was chill. I can't say enough about Heroescon. How many times you been there, SCG?
This was the third or fourth year one.
Yeah, okay, and between the both of us, we covered the entire weekend. I wasn't there Sunday, but you were there. And then yeah, there's a lot of coverage. If you guys like comprehensive coverage of Heroes, tonight is the night. You're gonna see so much stuff. Sig Slayers was everywhere. All right, but oh yeah, smash the like button, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to SCG and the Sig Slayers, please, because we're about to get very deep. We're about to do a deep dive into the Heroes and the first subject at hand. All right, so every hero has a villain, SCG, right?
Yep.
And this show was so fantastic, but I have to say there was a villain that was lurking around. There were several villains. It was, in fact, a Legion of Doom at Heroes, and they happen to be paint markers, man. Paint markers. I wanted Tony, the Signature King, to join us tonight, and I'm going to have Tony join us next week because I have to talk about this. At first, I was all for the paint marker, right? And I've always had a rule of thumb, and Tony and I, we actually had the signature 10 commandments and rule of 3. You know, no more than 3 comics you should have signed at one time with paint markers, right? Mm-hmm. For several reasons, because it increases the error, you know, the chance of error, because the paint markers take a long time to dry. Mm-hmm. Now, Heroes is a massive, massive show. If you've never been there before, I urge you to go on the Heroescon website and just look at the guest list. You will be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, right? Now, why did I see a shortage of Sharpie usage and an increase in paint marker usage by the creators there at Heroes, which led to, I hate to say it, unexpected log jams at the lines, man. I mean, these lines were slower than ever because we were waiting on paint to dry. And then so there's all this unnecessary small talk at the line. And then keep in mind, the lines are long. Mm-hmm. So you're waiting 2, 3, 5 minutes. And then, you know, you got people with, you know, a lot of comics. So every, you know, comic needs 2 to 3 minutes to dry. So you just keep adding that to the pile, right? One line that I wasn't in at this show, but this is kind of like proves my point. Kari Andrews, they said that line was like the DMV. Yeah. Pack your lunch, you know, have your stools ready, you know, have all, you know, have your water ready. You're going to be there for a while. And it's because of the mode of signature. And I've always been a proponent for Sharpies. Now, I get it. People want their stuff to look cute, right? They want the, you know, they want the purple or pink or something to contrast. But I think that there's a lot of cons to volume. That's the key word, volume signage with the paint markers, because it leads, because there's varying brands too. Like the ones that, like Sharpie has one that's like fast or dry, but it has a matte finish and it tends to chip if you have a thinner cover. There's all these things that you have to think of. Then there's the ones that are glossy that takes forever to dry. So we're talking about Sig Slayer. So, you know, we talk about pens and stuff. So if you guys are not into pen talk and stuff like that, then Sig Slayers. This is if you're a golfer, you're talking about clubs and balls, right? So Sig Slayers, we're talking about pens, books, services, prices, all of the above, and we're going to talk about all of that tonight. But the thing that chafed my hide, SCG, was these freaking paint markers, all of them. I don't care which one. Everybody had them. I had a couple ruined comics because people they underestimate how long they take to dry, and then they throw it on top, and then next thing you know, the bottom of the comic has paint on it. And I have to show this. Where are my comics? You guys recognize this book? Right? This is like a pretty in-demand modern book. Would you say, SCG?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, so we're all in agreement there. Now, how would you feel, SCG? This nice in-demand book right here that I'm going to take out this bag and board. I don't even know why I got it in a bag and board because I don't like it no more. I don't love it no more. Where's it at? There it is. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel, guys? You guys already know what time it is with this book. So I say, when in doubt, use a good old Sharpie. Now, I get it. People complain about the Sharpie, the metallics, because of the dry factor, right? And so paint markers, all right, you're probably going to get a pretty wet marker, but at the expense of stuff like this, and at the expense of slow ass lines. So I ask you guys in the chat, does it matter? Does it matter that much that we need to have Rainbow Bright all over our comics these days? Let me know in the chat, guys. Am I tripping? I mean, because I swear, think about it. The amount of people that were heroes, right? And then you add the amount of paint markers that are being used. So those lines were going slow. I mean, people were competing with Chris Claremont, man. They were hitting Claremontian like stats, man. I'm talking the way the line moves, man. Chris Claremont is the Turtle King, because he's, I mean, he'll look at the paper count on his book before he signs it. He'll smell the stock, I know you've seen Chris Claremont do this, guys, where he opens up the paper and like, why are you doing this? Why are we doing this? Right? So Chris Claremont is Chris Claremonting, right? But now you got the paint markers counterbalancing Chris Claremont, man. And Chris Claremont is winning the race. That's what's crazy. So, okay, you got no patience for a long line, right? But imagine a short line that moves at the rate of a long line. So imagine the optics says, oh, man, I'm going to get out this line real quick. 45 minutes later, right? So, because they're using paint markers and the people in line got a lot of comics. So another one, Tim Bradstreet, his line wasn't long. And keep in mind, Tim Bradstreet, his Punisher covers are, to me, the best. I can't see a Punisher cover better than a Bradstreet cover. But that line, it was like 6-7 people in it. And, man, I was in there for almost an hour. Paint marker. Hashtag paint markers, guys. Trade you coin. Yeah, and then the last thing, guys, I want to talk about this. The finish line was short. Okay, was he using those paint markers? Or was he using just the regular old? See, Scotty Young, I give him credit. He was like, look, I got the metallic and I got the black, and we're gonna whip it. I'm gonna test the markers to make sure I'm not giving you a dry signature. But we're not doing all this, man. It's excessive at this point. I mean, people, they bring their own markers and stuff. Hey, you're paying for your SIG. I'm not gonna poo-poo that. You know, hey, you paying for the SIG, you bring your markers. Hey, you know, it's your world, right? But the creators don't have to create that ecosystem. That's the problem. Because if they kept it Sharpie, the lines would move, man. Like it's not like it's not the good old days where you can sit there and chat it up and, you know, talk shop and, ooh, I'm a fan. It ain't like that no more, man. Like, people got stuff to do, you know? And yeah, you know, hey, you want to know about them? Check the video out on Sig Slayers. You know, you want to see what's up? See him on Sig Slayers. You know what I mean? But keep it moving, buddy. All right, I'm done. All right, I'm done, guys. You guys. I had to say it. The villains, and this was me on my soapbox, and I forgot to brace you for this, SEG. You know, we've been busy, but I should have said, hey, you know, I'm about to be on the soapbox for a few minutes. Because about these damn Sharpies. These paint markers. I ruined my Joker, man.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I carry a wagon, which I was a little more loaded this time than I've been traditionally. But because when I take it off of there, I lay it in the wagon, and then I get out of the line to keep it moving so that I'm not holding people up, because I don't want to be that guy that you get behind and, you know, he's sitting there blowing on his comic, you know, trying to make sure.
Al Milgram. Okay, yeah, I like this, Digger Jim. Tell me, I like that. Let's talk about people that got it right. So Al Milgram was sharp and fast. Okay, so was there any other lines where the creators are keeping it pushing? Mark Bagley kept it pushing. You know, Jim Starlin kept it pushing. I don't mind that, man. A blue marker, that's cool, because the blue marker, the blue translucent marker, works the same as the black Sharpie, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm cool with that. Guys, if we could just all just practice, you know, common sense out there. So if you got a stack of books, right, all you have to do is make sure that they sign it in the right area. I'm not talking about glory holes either, so don't get me on the glory hole stuff, all right? I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, hey, would you sign it right there? You can point to, like, look, can you sign it right there? Boom. Oh, you know what? That's a dark area. Can you use a metallic and test it real quick? We can't do that. We can't. We gotta be Picasso with SIGs now. Now think about this. There's somebody who got very popular off this absolute craze. I think his name is Quintana. Mm-hmm. Quintana, right? Have you seen his SIG?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Get the heck out of here! Are you kidding me?
He's trying to be Starenko.
Huh?
He's trying to be Starenko.
Oh my God! No, no, he's Starenko, man. Get out of here with that, man. Like, I saw when it was like a flower, like a rosebud. It's like, come on, dude. Just do sketches, man. Just give us a sketch, bro. Like, let's not romanticize the SIG like that. And then you know how long those things take. So the line goes slow. You got this. And then there's dudes that get like 3-4 of them, right? So imagine, it's only 4 SIGs. That sounds like nothing, right? That sounds like barbecue chicken, right? But not with a Quintana SIG, it ain't. You in there because you getting the Mona Lisa every dang SIG. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what it is. You know, what's this new culture? And keep in mind, man, I've been getting SIGs for a long time, you know, and I'm cool with things. But if I'm in line, I got to respect the people behind me. And think about this. You shooting the shit in line, waiting on Scott Snyder for 4 hours. And then, you know, now you got, you know, this dude got 3 books. I got 50. And I want 5 remarks, you know, with an order of fries. You know what I mean? I was cool with this dude. I'm not even going to let him get ahead of me or nothing. I'm just going to just sit there and, yep, let me get it done, you know, because you know why? Snyder might leave early or something, you know? So it's like, so it's doggy dog world with it. And then the line is slow. And then you might get one of these on an absolute joker, guys. And so, yeah. Any final thoughts on this, SEG?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balancing act. I mean, I don't like to be pushed around like I'm in a cog factory. I like to at least somebody talk to me a little bit, but move along. And I think the paint markers does add an additional slowdown needlessly, right? So I guess the fixes would be either get a wagon or provide your own paint markers. Would kind of fix most of that. But I like somebody else said in the chat, I don't have a lot of patience for most of the longer lines, and so I didn't visit the long line people like Claremont, Ramita, and those type of people at Heroes. All the lines that I went in didn't have to wait very long at all, so definitely good about that. I was actually surprised. I mean, I walked by Joe Jusko's table and nobody's in his line. So
there was a lot of cats like that. I was surprised, man. Like, people were going to Daryl Banks' line, but I mean, like, Daryl Banks don't go to a lot of shows, man. Like, I was like, yo, I was pulling up on Daryl Banks' table a lot. But then, okay, let's go to a recap, man. Let's go, guys. Let's dive in. And thank you for all the people that are commenting, letting us know about your experience in Heroes, because we're about to show you guys some footage about that too. Well, number one, I want to ask you real quick, SEG, before we even unleash on this stuff. Is Heroes the best con in the country?
Yes. If you want a truest sense Comic Con that has books and less cosplay, I mean, the truest sense of a Comic Con, yeah, Heroes is it. I mean, I'm inclined to say OAX just because it has more art, but again, the Comic Con factor, Heroes is it. Baltimore is a close second, though. I mean, it's made to be like Heroes for sure.
Man, being a West Coaster, the grail of all grails was San Diego for me, and I always looked at these other shows like window shopping, but I never wanted to like go, not until recently. And now that I've been to these shows like Baltimore, Heroes, even MegaCon, New York, those four in particular, man, San Diego's lacking right now, man. I'm just saying, I'm not saying don't go, guys. I'm just saying in comparison, the organization, Heroes website, they had the signature prices on. You click on the artist, they had a signature price, and you had the email in case you wanted to pre-order something. I mean, how organized is that? I mean, many shows can take notes from how Heroes does. I mean, I haven't seen a show prepare their the people, the attendees, so well. It was almost easy mode on there, and so San Diego has the Hollywood, the fanfare, the Samuel L. Jacksons, the John Cenas, and stuff like that. Hall late Saturday. Okay, cool. New York might have that, but hey, New York Artist Alley is better than San Diego. It's no brainer. But Heroes, my God, the whole con floor is one big ass Artist Alley. The whole con floor.
Yep. And where they place their placement on artists that are like big draws, like the Jenny Frizzens, the Scotty Youngs, don't place them in a corner somewhere where it's going to block everybody else. They put it on the main thoroughfare. It's got plenty of walkway. I mean, and so it keeps it way better running than what, like, say, a Fan Expo typically does.
Yeah, man, it's to me, Heroes was the creme de la creme. I did want to talk a little bit of math with you guys real quick while it's early in the show, because Heroes was a big rollout in signature prices. So I did want to update, not prices, but more so conditions. And I'm curious to see how this goes into San Diego. Maybe they did these conditions just for Heroes. And here's my point here. So first one, Scott Snyder, he's $20. We talked about that earlier this year, but the condition is the 10 item limit. He wasn't a 10 item limit, I don't believe, at MegaCon. And I was in that line. I think it was a 20 item limit. And so at Heroes, same price, different condition, 10 items. I thought that was, that's hard for people that only can see a person like him once a year. That's almost cruel. 10 is not like a stack to me. 10 is like, okay, that's, what, I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
But you can go get back in line, though. I actually like the idea of a lesser 10 versus the guys that have got, 50 copies of Absolute Batman #1 that want to get it signed,
That's fair. But you got to admit that Scott Snyder is not the kind of line you could get in twice. It's a one, and you at least a month of your life gets drained waiting in it. You know what I mean? It's not a it's almost,
for sure. I mean,
it's difficult, but yeah, I agree with you though, especially for the sake of people that that's not that person that has all those copies of Absolute #1. So
you got 3 books. You got 3 books, and you're getting behind somebody that's got 50.
Yeah, I feel you on that, SCG. And then the same. Here we go. Here's a price increase. So price increase. So last time we saw Jagata, he was 1 free at 10 in New York. Now he's 1 free and 15 with the 10 item limit. So this 10 item limit thing, and mind you, Scott Snyder's comic sketch art, and Felix is rolling with Jagata, right? Or vice versa. And so even the Felix heads are getting in on this 10 item limit thing. But Jagata is $15 now versus the 10. So he went up $5, but he's still at the edge of tier 1 though, guys. So you can't blame him, especially with this, it's crazy how popular Absolute Batman is. It's absolutely crazy. And then another, guy, this guy was just as popular as the previous 2. Daniel Warren Johnson, another Felix guy. He's $10, but a 10 item limit. And then to go to some OGs with a new price increase. Now Klaus Janson, I think Klaus Janson was I think $20 in New York. So, but I think I haven't updated his price yet, so I'm updating it here. But Arthur Adams, though, he was $10. Now he's 20. So Arthur Adams price increase. He is officially tier 2. You can't be mad at it though. These are, they're absolute legends. They have keys. These people are foundational when it comes to the current generation, even the generation before this generation worship these guys. And so, hey man, I'm not mad at them raising their prices. And so that's just to recap. Daniel Warren Johnson, same price, but he's 10 item limit. Nick Jagata, price increase, 10 item limit, so he's 15. Scott Snyder, this is his new price for 2026. So $20 is the 26 rollout. The rollout for Heroescon is the 10 item limit. And yeah, and that's, and that's not that bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I had, a lot of the folks that generally charge at other places were doing Heroes Initiative donations, which again, I'm fine with. I only had one issue. Have you ever got anything signed by Tom Orozonsky?
Not yet. I had some books, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
So he's was a letterer for Spawn 1, with a bunch of stuff, right? So I had like 5 books for him to sign. And shame on me, I should have asked. But I'm thinking he's an old guy, he was a letterer, can't be that bad.
Right.
So he gets through signing them, and I said, I guess I should have asked you this before, but how much do I owe you? And he said, well, I probably should have told you that before. His signature price was $35 a sig.
What? For a letterer?
Yeah.
For a letterer?
Yeah. So he saw my face and he said, "Well, look,
Sheesh.
he said, I should have told you before. What do you think's fair?" And so we come to a negotiation, and he was cool with it. So, but yeah, it seemed pretty steep to me. So,
Yeah. And I gotta say, the other observation that I saw that was actually great. I have no qualms with it, but it was just like, oh my God, right? So, as for me, previous, when you think of like who's the top color artist in the game, right? You think of someone like Alice Sinclair, right? Somebody who lines are notoriously long, trying to get that triple sig, Lee, Williams, Sinclair on whatever, right? But I'll tell you something, man. I've never seen a color artist line longer than Mike Spicer's line. Mike Spicer's line was just as long as freaking D-Dubs and Sanford Greens. And I've never seen that before. I couldn't get in it. I was trying. There was things that I wanted to get signed, by Mike Spicer to go along with the Dane Warren Johnson, and it was crazy. Mike Spicer's line was nuts. That to me was like, wow, okay. That's when I knew that Heroes, you're dealing with a bunch of desperados, man. You got, ain't no rookies in this line unless they somebody kid. You know what I mean? Everybody in this line, they know what's up. They know what they're doing. If you got a flooded Mike Spicer line who's a color artist, that's crazy. And I didn't even get in it. I wanted to at least meet him. I didn't even want to wait in line just to say hi. You know what I mean? And that brings me back to the whole paint marker thing. Because when you have a whole, like a slow line, what if you don't even want to sig and you just want to say what up and do the kind of just meet and greet type of thing? It becomes so discouraging. There were so many people that I wanted to just say hi to that I didn't get a chance. It's because the lines were long. And I hate to tell you guys, when I looked at what they were writing with, it was the enemy. It was the damn paint markers. I swear, man. It was bad, man. It was bad. Okay, so let me show you guys some stuff real quick. Because it was, man, we were all over the place. Some cool things, guys. Nick Dragata here. He got this. We were at the right place at the right time with all of this stuff. Some lady made this for him and Scott Snyder, and it's like a light up. I mean, this video is not doing any justice, but I mean, if I was Nick, I would definitely feel flattered to get something like this, someone made with their own, money and effort. I really think that was really cool. It's I was at the Nick Dragata line right at this moment. I thought that was straight. And then shout out to my man's Mark the Honorable Villain. We bum rushed D-Dubs. And so we got the only interview of Daniel Warren Johnson. Okay. He was so flipping busy. And we got a chance to let people know that he's coming out with a new project. This was a moment that we did on the fly. I can't believe, like, once I got to cutting it, that it worked out. I mean, it was really hectic. We was walking in between people. This was this was crazy, but this was cool. Daniel Warren Johnson's former guest on the show, and so I give him props for taking the time and giving us an on the fly interview. And then I wanted to show you guys some of this stuff because this, we were at Big Phil at Collection of Black, and this it was like, crazy. It was like one of the most craziest things I've ever been to, as far as people just popping up all over the place, meeting content creators that I watch on YouTube that I respect, meeting them face to face. And for the most part, that was my experience at Heroescon in whole. Was I met so many YouTubers and people from Instagram, and they were all under one roof. But this Collections in Black thing, it was crazy. And so throughout the night, I'm going to just show clips. And so this is the first clip I'm going to show. And just to let you guys know, we got you're going to see cameos from Kazra, from Calf here. You got the Black Comic Lords. We interview Big Phil. You might even see Scott Snyder, Sanford Green in here. So just throughout the night. But here's the first clip I want to show you guys before we move on and talk about more recap from Heroes.
Hey guys, we are the Comics Pals and we are live at Collections in Black. This is happening after Heroescon 2026. This is a Black-focused art exhibit. And when I tell you that I walked in this place and couldn't believe the amount of excellence and talent that is just booming all over the walls, you have to be here to know what I'm talking about. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's actually really cool, the types of different art too that are out there. Yeah. You have, prints, comic book art. You have Bitterroot, Sanford Green right there, but you also have like street art with like this cool Doctor Doom exhibit going on in the corner here, and then you have like actual comic book pages behind us. So it's the varying different degrees of art that could be in the comic space, which I think is just awesome.
And I think the best thing is we're just walking around. Like there's so many pieces that you can just go ahead, experience, think about, have conversations on. I mean, there was a page down there we were just looking at, examining, sitting around, and it sparks conversation. Yep. I think that's really important for the community. It's really important for the people who are here, and I think it's important for the artists. You want to be able to showcase that and be able to talk about it.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yes, that was smooth, man. I'm with the smooth, illustrious Kazra here.
AI smooth.
You're super smooth. What up, man? Sig Slayers, we're back in the building here. I'm here with the comic art fans, the whole society here. I guess Kazra's got to represent everybody today, right?
I do.
But we're here at the Collections in Black exhibit here in Charlotte. Heroes Weekend, man. I got one question for you, Kazra. What do you think about the Collections in Black on the road in Charlotte?
I love it. 9189. You been to it before?
Never. It's my first time ever.
Unbelievable space. You know how many artist studios she has here? She has like 200 artists doing work in this place.
Seriously, man. So I feel like I'm in a holy place.
She's doing God's work. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is an amazing facility. I don't know how they put it together, but they have unbelievable number of artists here doing work every day.
Yeah, so you're familiar with Phil, obviously. Collections in Black was at OAX last year. Yeah. And what's like one of the favorite pieces that you've seen here that you can remember?
Wow. One artist walked in and showed us this painting over here that's unbelievable. And on the wall, Billy Graham. Billy Graham, 1975.
Okay.
Bow and arrow with some modern tech on it. Don't ask what he's pointing it at, but that's an amazing first page splash from 1975. It's amazing, right there in the middle, solo. No, keep going right here, right here. Unbelievable. Boom. I'm an old guy, so anything from the Bronze Age like that, let alone Billy Graham, let alone first page splash, I love it. I love it.
Hey, well, Kazra, man, much love, dog.
That's it?
Yes.
You kicking me out already? You see how this works?
Like Jazz on Fresh Prince.
See how this works?
Well, we're going to continue some coverage, but that was cool, man. Kazra is a freaking nut, man. That was fun interviewing him. And then the Comic Pals. Shout out to the Comic Pals. I don't know if you guys subscribe to their channel, but they do like everything, man. They do like 3-4 lives a week, covering, like reviewing everything that's on the stands. They read all of that shit, talk about it, like, real time. And then, they talk about back issue stuff. But you know what caught my attention was they talked about Morrison Batman. It did like a whole like 2 or 3 hours on Morrison Batman. Anybody that talk about Morrison Batman, you're going to get my get my attention. And so and then Jeff Johns Green Lantern as well. And so yeah, they're real cool, man. So shout out to the Comic Pals who introed us into these segments here, covering the collections in black out at $9.99 in Charlotte. And this is all post Heroes, man. So that was Friday night Heroes, man. Just crazy Sig Slaying going on. What was the highlight for you at Heroes?
At Heroes this year was a little bit different for me, but just running into all the folks that I did, a lot of folks I didn't get a chance to run into, but chopping it up with everybody, and didn't really have no knock it out of the park pickups, but picked up a lot of cool stuff and in and out, and so it was a great show.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think. The highlight for me was, I guess, chopping it up with JG Jones, who's one of my favorite artists. You guys know about the Sig Slayer sketch cards. I've been giving them out like crazy, so I'm actually waiting on some more. This is like what I have. But getting these done were probably one of the highlights, other than covering the show. And of course, I got tons of Sigs. I'm trying to figure out which ones that I want to show. But JG Jones, we had a special on the scene Sig Slayers at San Diego Comic-Con where we interviewed Joe Chido, Steve Olive, JG Jones, Allison Clare, and after that. After we wrapped taping, we gave them all sketch cards and they all sketched on them, right? And JG, who is an avid Lord of the Rings fan and stuff like that, he did a Gandalf the Grey. And so this year I was like, and I gave it away to some cat named Geo the Grey. So shout out to Geo the Grey. He won it randomly, but it's crazy because his name was Geo the Grey. And this year, I wanted to do something in that vein. And I was like, what would be cool that would just kill cats, And so I told him, I was like, man, I want you to do that, the Eye of Sauron in the tower, the fire and eyeballs. And so this dude, I should have put it up here, but I didn't. Him painting this. So this is a watercolor. JG Jones, Eye of Sauron, Lord of the Rings on a 6-layer sketch card, man. These are dope, man. If you guys are just new to the channel, here you go. 6 layers, exclusive home with David Barry in the process and Doug Mankey animations. And yeah, so I'm gonna be giving these out. We give these all out. But this here, man, he didn't need no photo reference, nothing. He just did this from his mind. And he said that this place is a scary place in his mind. And so I thought that was cool. And then, shout out to Tony Fleece, who's blowing up these days. Uncanny Valley, Feral. Now he's doing Deathstroke with DC. And he's going to be a guest on the 6-layer station coming up. I've interviewed him a few times, but he wanted to do a Sophie from Stray Dogs. So we did a Sophie from Stray Dogs. And then Trish Forstner did one of the cats from Feral. And then this is awesome right here. Georges Genti did Mandalorian, Din Djarin. And I thought he knocked this out of the park. Whoever wins this is going to be lucky. This is cool. It's one of my favorite ones. And then I do have this. As you guys see here, Scott Snyder, he's signing these absolute Batman sketch cards for us. And Nick Dragata already signed them already. And shout out to my buddy Jake Boston that's been killing these cards. He's been drawing the bulk of these out in Mississippi, and he's been killing it. And Jake's going to be rolling with us to Baltimore later on this year. So that's going to be dope. And we're going to be having a table there, and you guys be able to get some stuff directly from Jake there, and be seeing an interview or two at the Sig Slayer table. And so I want to show a couple of these up close, because these are the ones that, Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata, they signed already. So you got this Absolute Bane here on a Sig Slayer sketch card. Let me blow myself up real quick. There we go. There we go, so you can see this better. So we got this. This is signed by Dragata and Scott Snyder. You got this Absolute Scarecrow right here. The Penguin. And some people already got some of these already out in the, out in the wild. Some people already won this. And then this, we're spoiling this. We're spoiling this, the Absolute Clayface. We're spoiling that right there. So, yeah, so we're going to be giving these away. And then Absolute Joker. Yeah, so these are all double signed by my man Jake Boston. And then the piece de resistance. Okay, so this one right here. This is a homage. You got Major Force selling fridges. And he's saying you could fit at least 3 girls in this bad boy. Yeah. I love this one. This one's my favorite one of all time. And it would be for a while. Got Major Force selling fridges, guys. Do you get it? Get it. Tell me you get it. Oof. Gross.
If you know, you know.
Yes. Oh, but look, and then this was signed by Daryl Banks on the back. So we got his blessing by the only person that can be called Fridge other than Refrigerator Perry. So yeah, I would say that was my highlight. We're gonna show you guys, some more books down the line. Wanted to catch up with some of this. What up, Tino? Yeah, JG always kills it. Yes, man. Yeah, shout out, man. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. We are giving you guys exclusive Heroescon footage, man. I want to shout out to C3. We led this show with Comics Curing Cancer. I really respect all those dudes. I got a chance to meet those guys, Mark and gang, and it was honored to cover that table and chill with them in the lobby at the Westin and stuff. So yeah, man, I want to whatever I can do to support them, man, and spread that cause, man. I am, and that was great. They have the yes. To me, like Heroes, yeah, Heroes was actually, I think Charlotte is the perfect oasis for this. If this was in a bigger city, Heroes would be it would be the worst con, because everybody would be boxed out, I think this is it's the perfect place, man, because location matters, man, because location and different places got different kinds of collectors, man. I'm telling you, if Heroes is in LA, cooked. You're cooked. Everybody's cooked. You're cooked. Soon as you show up, you cooked. You see what I'm saying? Like San Diego Comic-Con is like that. It's like as soon as you walk in the con, you're cooked. Whatever you was trying to get is done. It's capped. It's out of stock. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so unless you have the Dakota ring, you got the secret handshake, you have the right kind of badge, you're an Ink Pot award winner or some shit like that. That's the only way you're going to navigate San Diego successfully. and I'm not exaggerating. It's one of those shows. Soon as you step in it, you're in the cooking pot, dude. You better already know somebody to have a plan. There's spreadsheets involved, and I'm not talking about, oh, this is my signature list spreadsheets. No, this is where we got to be at this time kind of spreadsheets. Okay, talking about Ocean's 11 type of spreadsheets. You know, it's not like any show that I've ever been to, and I'm not saying that in a positive light. I'm saying that San Diego needs to catch up to these shows like Heroes. I think Heroes is the standard, and that's what I'm getting to. Heroes is the standard. If you're a Sig Slayers, if you it's the standard. Guess what? If you collect comics, oh my God, you know how many times I was distracted by great comics on racks? When is the last time you've been at a show when that happened, SCG, where like you actually saw vendors?
Right. And yeah, and you had vendors that had value boxes, so if you're not just looking for the huge keys, you can get that too. And I get it. It's because that the cost of this stuff has just gotten so high, but it's good that Heroes balances that out. And so it does provide a good mix. I mean, I had my 8-year-old son there with me. He was not at a loss of things to do either. There was vendors that catered more to the younger demographic as far as the books they signed. Tony Harris's wife flagged me down and said, "Hey, give this." It was something for everybody,
Yes, I just put the link in the chat. If anybody want to join, you're not gonna be seen. But if you guys want to join in, anybody that want to share their experience about Heroes, I just put the link in the chat. And yes, you will not be seen, but we definitely want to hear your voice and let us know about your experience. I definitely have questions to ask. It was my first time in Charlotte. It was my first time at Heroes. It was Mark's first time out there, and I just felt like we were, just some of the luckiest people because everywhere we went, we were like in the right spot. For example, right? So everybody. Oh, I knew this. You knew this probably too, SEG. And this piece right here, the auction, right? Yeah. You probably knew that Scotty Young was going to be the highest seller, right?
Yeah, it typically is. Yeah.
And so I felt that I was walking around. We were looking at all the pieces before the auction started. And I was like, okay, there's some cool pieces. And I was like, oh, but there it is. You got a gigantic Scotty Young, which you don't see often. I mean, that's a huge Scotty Young piece.
Well,
and then it's He-Man.
He does the big one for Heroes every year. So last year it was Galactus versus Pac-Man.
Okay,
and,
so you hit me.
They were all gobbling after planets that look like Pac-Man pellets. And then before that was the Wolverine versus Deadpool. That was when that movie just came out, so it was pretty fresh on everybody's mind. So he usually does an oversized piece. That one kind of stalled out. I thought maybe we were going to have a change of the guard, but it bit up at the last minute.
Thank you for sharing that. Because like I said, this was my first time at Heroes. So I'm unfamiliar with the feng shui there, and my hunch was saying, okay, this is an oversized Scotty Young piece, and I just like this is going to be the top seller. I saw the other pieces. I knew there was a Daniel Warren Johnson in the mix, but I didn't think that as a Skeletor Scotty. I mean, come on, man. We do got a caller, man. So I'm going to bring him in right now. Give me 1 second. We got a Digger Jim in the place to be.
Yeah.
What's up, Digger Jim? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Now, I don't know how I missed you, but I saw SCG. But he has that cart, so you can spot him a mile away.
I miss SCG, so I was like, yo. Hey man, I got to see you one way or another. So let's make it on Stash Wars.
I am so glad that you were able to go to that con. I think it was like maybe last year when Tony was on with you, and y'all were talking about San Diego, and I might have been watching that show or something, and I was like, yo, you need to come to Heroes. And I was just, because I think this was like my 5th year. It was like right after the pandemic when I went, because Mark from Legion of Comics, he said, his father and him were going up, and I said, you know what, I told my brother, I said, you don't ever do anything, you're going with me, we're going to Heroes, we're going to see what this is all about. And after that, I went back to that, I just started talking it up, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger. And you see more, DJ came on next. All these different people were like, yeah, let me go check this out. And it's the last pure con.
It is, man. And so Jim, what's your big draw when you go to Heroes?
Well, I mean, this year was a little different. Last year, I was like grail hunting. I always wanted an Iron Man 1, and I knew I could get it there. So I had a goal. I was going to find me one in the slab and then the price that I wanted and everything. And I did. It worked out great. This year, I kind of went more with, I was going to get a few signatures that I knew I wanted, but I was really going just because you could get commissions. You could get sketch commissions at reasonable prices, because not all these people over there have done work for Marvel and DC. Some of them might have done a few independent covers and whatnot. So I have a lot. I had 7 commissions this year. It was crazy. And, but again, I had a strategy. You always get that done first day, Friday. You get over there, you get on the list, and, can you do it? Yeah, we can. This is what I want, and so forth. And so for me, it was about that this year more than anything.
Okay, so I got to ask this question. Going back to the beginning of the show when we were talking about the villain of Heroes, these damn paint markers.
Right.
What are your thoughts on my take?
No, I agree 100%. Now I'm going to caveat that just a little bit, because I did get some signatures, and one of them was that Absolute Batman Matt Wilson piece sold out. So I got one of those ahead of time, not ahead of time, but I got it Friday, and I went over to his booth, and I said, will you sign this? And I actually picked up another book he had as well. I bought another book off of there because he had a sweet Godzilla looking book, and I like that. And they had a fan. They had one of those little portable hand fans. So he would sign it and then just sit there and just fan it, or his wife took it and she would hold it aside and fan it. And there was another person that did that too, and I can't remember who it was. It was another independent creator that I went and saw, and they both had fans. And I think that's a great idea if you're going to use those nasty markers like that. Now they didn't; they just had regular, it was a colored Sharpie type marker. His was like a red, and so forth. But they're still very thoughtful that we want to make sure this dries out. So
yeah, man, it's tough sledding when people don't have those fans, and then you got dozens of books out there, and there's dozens and dozens of people in line waiting, and then rinse and repeat that process over and over and over again.
Well,
I just think it's agony.
You're a professional Sig Slayer like yourself, you should be carrying them jams. How about that?
No, you know what's funny about that, Jim? You know what I thought? I was telling cats, I was like, dude, I should have a booth with just fans. Put up in the corner. Yeah, next to the top loader guy.
Yeah. No doubt. I wanted to get specific people. I had this Moon Knight. I think it's Moon Knight 200. It's just an incredible Finch cover. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care if I got to stand in line that long. But I got lucky. He was one of those times where, how they leave and then they come back. And so I said, you know what? He's going to be back in like 10 minutes. I'm just going to stand right here and wait. And me and this other guy stood right there, and he came back exactly when he said he was going to. And so I didn't have to wait through too many people. And I also wanted Jose Garcia Lopez.
Right.
He's done some really nice pieces for DC, and I had a 4-piece Deadman set that he had done that I wanted to get signed and so forth. And I don't have patience to stand in line for those other guys. And I'm going to pose a question to you while I'm on here real quick.
Okay.
Here's the question. Right now, Nick Dragata, Scott Snyder, Daniel Warren Johnson, hot, right?
Hot.
Okay. In 3 years, 4 years, why don't you just wait till then? The line may not be as hot. You know, maybe, especially Daniel Warren Johnson, he may fall off a little bit. You can catch him and there's only 15 guys in line. You don't know. I mean, at some point, everybody's hot is what I'm getting at. You know, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. Here's my theory on that, right? All right. So you always, you know, if you were hot like these guys are right now, when you're not anymore, you become what we call like I don't want to say like a legend like Todd or Jim Lee, but a legend like, Joe Staten or somebody. You know what I mean? Like when you start getting a little older, you know, did a lot of stuff, got a resume, got awards, right?
Right.
Was the man at one point, you know. Joe Staten had a good career. He wasn't as big as, John Byrne or somebody during the era, but people were buying his books in the 80s and stuff. Okay, so a couple, let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now, when they start to get, cool off. Scott Snyder, that's a good one to throw in there to say he might cool off. Then you become Chris Claremont, maybe. You become Jim Starlin, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because think about this. They're already, let's think about this. Chris, okay, so while I got you here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Scott Snyder is already the same price as Jim Starlin.
Right.
Well, how much is he going to be in 5 or 10 years, right? How valuable is Absolute Batman #1, right? It hinges on that. I can't believe we're not talking about Detective Comic 880 or Batman #1 from New 52. We're talking about absolute Batman here, right?
Right.
So if that book retains its value over time, where it becomes like, let's say like Harley Quinn, let's just say like on that level, like that kind of range, like $300, $500. Like if it stays like that, this dude's gonna be the man till he croaks, dude.
And you might be right. You might be right. Just be a bigger line.
And so what I would say right now, unfortunately, we're in the immediacy game. Like people trying to get this. Think about it. You got people on Whatnot flipping stuff at the show. They're getting out of the ink's not even dry. They got the fans blowing on the stuff before they about to throw it on the live. You know what I mean?
No, and a lot of those guys are doing that. A lot of the artists are doing that, especially some of these
Clayton
what
Crane.
I want to say up and coming artists, like Todd Beats. He did a piece for C3 last year, and he's done a couple of like Battle Cat covers and so forth. But I saw him when I was down there, and he was in front of the camera doing something. I'm assuming it was a Whatnot. They were talking like they were part of Whatnot. They just had it all mic'd out right there. So you might be right. I mean, I might be way off on that, but I'm old school. I'm an old dude. I still think Ron Wilson drew the thing better than anybody else. I was tickled pink to go over to his thing and have him sign a bunch of books for me. Nobody in line for him. I'm just in a different era. That's all.
All right, so I'm gonna get you out of here on this, Jim, and then Mark, if you're still there, I want you to jump in because I definitely want to hear your take because I was with you. But Jim, all right, so Heroes is the best con. You already on that.
Yeah.
But for the people that are just on and they're not from the East Coast, that talk to the West Coast heads. There we go. There it is. Talk to the West Coast heads that think that San Diego Comic-Con is the end all. Sell them on Heroes right now.
Well, I mean, San Diego, I've never been to San Diego, so I don't have a comparison. But I will say this. I think Heroes is the last pure Comic Con. Not Pop Culture Con, Comic Con. We had cosplay there in the corner doing their thing. They had like, you know, the Ghostbuster car in the corner over there. They had people selling Legos. There was pop culture there, but there was an immense amount of comics and artists, and the way it was designed, just like you said, the design factor and how it was set up and organized is hands down better than anything I've seen. I will touch on this just briefly. Baltimore is a close second. The only difference is Baltimore hasn't figured out how to expand out that area over there. They got too much room for where people can sit down and eat a snack. They need to grow that out a little more so you have a little more breathing room. That's the difference between those two, because in Baltimore, you're right next to the guy, pretty close. And that kind of, you know, and I've been to Baltimore a lot because I'm in Maryland, so I go there all the time. But I just think that from that standpoint, they're just not the same. One's just figured it out, and the other one's trying to. San Diego, they're great. I'm sure they're great. If you want to see a cosplayer or some movie star or go to Department H, that's for you. But if you want to get comics that you can't find or signatures from people that may not show up there, that's the place to go, is Heroes. I'm telling you.
Man, Digger Jim, man, mic drop. Thank you so much, brother.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Take care.
I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All righty. Mark, get in here, man. I want you to get in here, man. What are your thoughts on what Jim was saying, man? He was spitting bars, man. Let me see here. We got let me read this here. 95 comics, 5 other stuff, whereas most shows that call themselves Comic Cons have like 2 artists and what is 20 VAs? What's that? And 20 celebrities and most cosplay guests. Yeah, man.
Voice actors.
Voice actors, yeah, man. Like, all right, Derek, you just brought up a point there. What were your thoughts on voice actors at the cons? I never got the correlation. I mean, I love cartoons, don't get me wrong, but I just never thought it was like, you know, never thought it fit, to be honest. While we waiting on Mark to get on, if you dare, Mark, let me know. I'm about to show this other clip, man, because it gets epic here at the Collections of Black. So here we go. I'm continuing on our coverage here. Shout out! This one I'm with Paul here from Black Comic Lords. Bam.
And we are back, and the Black Comic Lords are in the building, man. We got Paul, the birthday boy, with us here, man, and we are chilling here. Heroescon weekend, but we are at the Collections and Black exhibit in Charlotte, man. And you're like the professor to me, man. I look to get all my knowledge on everything comics from you and the Black Comic Lords, and I just want to know what do you feel like the significance? The man hour.
I feel like DJ Big Phil is killing it in the community.
Yes.
In the Black comics community, in the arts community in general, you know. It's one thing to just be a collector. It's another thing to be a curator of art, curator of comics, curator of the culture. And that's what he's doing with his Collections in Black collection.
Yeah.
You know, he's bringing art, comics, hip-hop, everything that he's passionate about and bringing it all together. And then exposing our already existing community to it. Nothing like this is going on at Heroescon.
No, it's not.
I mean, Heroescon is beautiful because we have so many of us that come to it, but to have an event like this where we all can chill and vibe together, I mean, you saw how it was today on the floor, man.
Man,
it was just
like
love.
It was like a family reunion,
It was like
dude.
a family reunion. We had people at the Sanford Green table.
Yes.
And the Sanford Green people, the line going out, the white people in the back like, hey,
you know what's crazy,
let's take this along.
What tripped me out was like cats I was chilling with earlier today.
Yeah.
And then later today, they knew you too. We was like, wait a minute, you knew this cat? Yeah, we all family here, man.
Yeah.
All right, just in conclusion, before we watch a screening of Collection in Black, we're about to watch that in a minute, guys. You wish you was here, right?
Yeah, you should have been here, honestly.
Right, so I just want to know real quick, man, how far you and Phil go back, man? Like, when you guys start working with each other?
Man, we started Black Comic Lords five years ago. a little 5 years ago, so about my time, yeah.
Man, and these guys are at the forefront of the culture, man. So I always have to bring y'all here on the Sig Slayer. I'm glad that we finally we are connected, man. And happy birthday to you, Paul.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you coming out, man. You know, you've always been family from the beginning. It was I appreciate you blessing our presence with, you know what the hell I meant.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy that you invited us, man. My first time in North Cackalack, man. And I just got to say, man, the collections have been black since its initial launch in Pittsburgh. You've been traveling all around. Now tell us what this latest iteration here in Charlotte.
I've actually been here multiple times, a couple times before. I have a really good relationship with this particular space. I love it here. I love Charlotte. Charlotte's a dope space, but we wanted to come back and do this right. And as you can see, we did that. I mean, we had good food, good music. We had the Beat Freaks. We had my man Jaw Freedom came through. Greg Scott Snyder, Sanford Green, Sig Slayers.
Sig Slayers in the house.
You know, BJ Kicks. You know, we celebrated Paul's birthday.
Yes.
You know, chocolate. Everybody. I mean, it's, you know, for me, it wasn't about being super technical, which is about us getting together as family.
Man, and I couldn't have said it better, man. We combined like Voltron here, man. I saw people, I didn't know our people's. Right. You know what I mean? And so, and we all came together here. And so just one last thing, man. Talk a little bit about Shane and the graffiti. You guys do a lot of stuff in Pittsburgh.
So yeah, we just had an exhibit called Panels that me and him put together. Just us doing our thing, and it was an incredible experience for the city, to the point where they asked us to come back for the gallery crawl, then for the art festival. So it was just dope.
Man, well, I'm with the man of the hour here, DJ Big Phil.
And I rep Shane also. So if you want some of these dope graffiti pieces, holler at me, and we'll make sure we'll cut you a deal. We'll get them to you.
You heard the man, Sig Slayers. We out.
All right, so that was it. I just want to show y'all, man. I had to I felt like we were where everything was popping, dude. Like, so at the end of me doing all of these interviews, and I see Mark in the building, this happened, man. Sanford Green, the whole, like, damn near the whole Absolute people came through. You got Scott Snyder, Porn Shack P-Shed Show, Shay Grayson. This was crazy. And Sanford Green. And they made an announcement. Sanford Green is going to be collabing with Scott Snyder on something, a Dark Side project. So I can't wait for that. I'm picking that up. Sanford Green, Scott Snyder on Dark Side, and we know this whole Absolute thing, Dark Side's at the core of it. So so this picture here, this was the picture of the night that the Sig Slayers we took. While all these content creators and movers and shakers didn't have their cameras ready, but the Sig Slayers had the camera ready, was able to interview most of these people. This was dope. So this capped off a great night. The only thing that sucked is I couldn't be in the picture because I had to take it. So, but this was a great night. Snyder and Sanford Green and Big Phil, man, he continues to amaze me with all the stuff he's able to, pull off, with this exhibit, man. So I give him mad props, and especially for inviting us because, hey, man, we took this shot. So if Sig Slayers weren't there, this shot wouldn't have happened in the way that it did. That was dope. About to throw Mark in. Yo, Mark.
Mike, that was top secret information, man. DC said not to share that, man.
I know, man. I don't know what was top. Well, we'll see. But anyway, go ahead, man.
What's up? Go ahead. What?
Holler at me, man. What's up? We talking about Heroes? You want to join on? I showed you a bunch of footage. What'd you think about the footage,
dude? Well, I honestly think it might have been my best con experience, man. Like this out of every, so San Diego has a big, the big spectacle. New York is very organized with their artist alley, and Heroes is all comics, man. It's all, so we're making so many connections, You know, we're talking to everyone. That Collections in Black exhibit was, you know, I always wanted to see it because it was always like, damn, when the hell are we gonna go to Pittsburgh and go see?
Right.
You know, when the hell are we gonna go see that? So it was nice that Phil had that there, and it was just a nice little shindig and everything, getting relaxed with everyone, seeing all our peers like Comic Pals, BJ Kicks, Dave from West Coast Avengers, like all the YouTube people. That was all cool, you know. And then chilling with Shane, chilling with Big Phil, chilling with Paul, the Black Comic Lords. And then like off of that, dude, like we were staying in the hotel, the West End, and just all the talent was there, you know. So that was cool. So we would wake up and then see freaking Luis and Walt Simonson just walking around, and dude, I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of art. I spent way more money than I wanted to, just because everything was there was so much good shit, you know.
Man, I mean, he was like Sonic, you know. As soon as he walked through the thresholds, bing, all his coins drop. I was like, man, dude, I got a D-Dubs, I got this, I got a Mona Lisa, I got a Salvador Dali. I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Slow down, bro. Get a water.
Dude, some of the stuff was like, it was a lot of people that I always wanted to meet, always wanted to get something from. Like D-Dubs, it's always hard to get something from him, you know. So like I was there early in his line to get something. I always wanted something from Daryl Banks. It was nice meeting Daryl Banks, you know.
Yep.
Nice meeting Evan Dorkin, you know. So like Richard Case, Rick Leonardi, you know. And then if you guys ever go by Joe Staten's table, dude, he's so affordable, man. And Joe Staten, alum of the show, creator of Kilowog, Huntress, you know. So he's got a lot of good character design, and he's got a lot of characters to choose from. I think they're only like $40 for like a headshot. Like I think not even that. I think it's like $30 or something. But dude, I had a lot of fun at Heroes, man.
Yeah, man. What was your highlight? And then we got somebody, Adrian Jones, in the studio. I'm gonna see what some of you went to Heroes. Give me a thumbs up and you know that if you can hear me. Adrian Jones. You went to Heroes? All right, cool. So I'm gonna put. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put you in after Mark. All right. All right. So we go.
What was my highlight, man? It might have been the Collections in Black. Just chilling there, you know, talking to Kazra, talking to Phil, and everything. It was just chilling out, you know. That was a nice time to just talk to people. And then the art show too. So dude, we were helping Mario get not the art show, the auction. So we're helping Mario freaking.
Oh, keep talking. I'm showing them that. Go ahead.
With Scott Snyder. So dude, that was that was nerve wrenching, man, because and then we were watching the game at the same time, dude. So that night was the best because all that, dude, and then just hanging out with Sean, dude. But it was pissing me off because everyone was like, okay, push him to the left, push him to the right, and then
because of damn paint markers.
Yeah,
talk about the paint markers, dude. Talk about the paint markers, dude.
Yeah, it's the stupid paint markers. It's like,
look at all these damn paint markers, dude.
Yeah, but is that Mario's fault because he asked for?
No, that's the people. That's what they all had. Look at Snyder's table. He's a Posca freaking salesman now. Yeah, it's crazy. And then he got. Hold on, I gotta say this real quick, Mark.
What's up?
So this here, dude. This is at the Westin. This is while the auction is going on. So this is happening in the other room next to the auction. All right, and so Snyder is on fumes, pumping antibiotics and watching the Knicks game, right? Yeah. But still, you know, signing all this stuff. And then we're trying to make sure that we don't prematurely stack these comics on wet paint marker. And so we're all deliberating on what is the definition of dry. Okay? So that's what we got to. We got to, okay, is it glossy? Are you sure? You know, we got this homie that I met from China. He had his own take. We just met him that night, man. It was crazy, man. So this night was, I would say this was probably my peak night because I'm like, dude, everywhere we were, Snyder was. Even at the freaking lobby at the dang Weston, where we had this dude handcuffed to a chair and threw a laptop in front of him so he won't cry, so he could watch the Knicks win the championship. It was awesome. This was like, now you talking about Sig Slaying? This is Sig Slaying right here, where you know, nowhere you can run, Snyder, but right here, you're surrounded by nothing but the homies. All you can do is sign. And all we had to do was make sure that we didn't screw up these books on the wet paint, man. But anyway, Mark, real quick, I want to see what Adrian has to say. D-Dubs, man, here's your face on the graphic here. What are your thoughts about the only Daniel Warren Johnson interview of the show?
We broke that news, man. That's what I always kind of want for our channel. I want us to be those guys. It's like, okay, we're gonna trust you with the news, So I guess, Dan, I guess he trusted us enough. He's like, I'm gonna tell you guys an exclusive here. I'm doing a new book. I'm releasing it at San Diego, or I'm revealing the news at San Diego. But here, you guys can tell them what it's about and everything, So I like that he picked us as messengers and everything, So I thought that
we men of the people. We're men of the people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then so he knows the work that we put in, man. He knows that we're on it, man. We're trying to get we're trying to bring it to the people and everything.
Yes. Okay, in conclusion, man, we just dropped probably the dopest Nick Dragata interview that's going to drop this year, right? Yeah. If you're an absolute Batman fan, this just dropped yesterday, man. What are you waiting for? Check this out. Talk about this one, dog.
Best thing, he talks about inspiration for all his character designs, so talking about Scarecrow being a Southern gentleman, all the crows around him, his love for mechs, and that leaning into his Robin's design, which is, dude, I thought that was such a cool design. And then they're all different sizes and everything. And it's just a good interview, so we're asking him, about the process, everything that we ask everyone else, and it's very structured and easy to follow. You won't get lost.
Yeah, man. You check out the interview. It just dropped yesterday, man. We're really proud of it. We interviewed him, I think, a week and a half before Heroes, and we want to drop it following Heroes so everybody can know what's up with it. I'm with my main man, Mark the Honorable Villain, and SCG. Mark, I'm gonna let you go, man, because we got new people in here, so I gotta see what's up with the brother in the chat, man. But stay there if you guys have something else to say later on.
All right, man. I'll stay here.
All right, peace. All right, we got a new caller, Adrian.
Hey, what's going on?
And did I pronounce your name right?
That's close enough. Yeah, you know how it go. You know how parents be.
Well, hey, man, what brings you to the show, man? What you got to say?
Man, I'm the president of Monumental Comics. So I've done some cons, and I've done out here in Colorado. Well, when I'm in Colorado, I'm in my truck right now making that money so we can produce more books. But when I'm in Colorado, we do the Pop Culture Con, plus my buddies from All Seas Comics throw a Comic Con or two. Heroescon has been on my radar real heavy. So if I go to Heroescon as a new vendor, what should I expect? Where should I set up? What's the best? You know what I'm saying? What is the best process for me to get involved, being a new comic company, if I want to get on a particular aisle, or what? How should I go about things?
Well, one, Heroes got a website where you could apply for the vendor application there for Artist Alley, and then from there, there's different tiers, and then they'll walk you through it. But I'm gonna give you an answer from our standpoint, because you got the people that run the show standpoint, and then you got like the Sig Slayer standpoint on like how we see things on the show, as from new indie creators like yourself, indie publishers like yourself. For example, I just met a cat, this guy by the name of he produced this. I just got this the other day from Heroescon, from this guy Two-Land. He has a character. It's called
Hold it up again. It's kind of,
yeah. I'm gonna hold it up again one more second. I'm trying to find the name. But anyway, I don't know the name of it. I bought it because he teaches. He goes to schools and he teaches kids confidence, and he uses this comic as a way, to teach kids self-esteem. I think it's like Chains or Fox. I forgot the name of the character. But this dude had a whole booth set up at Heroes, and then I also saw him at GalaxyCon in Nashville a few weeks prior. But he's from Texas, and so he hits the circuit. And so, like, usually what they do is they kind of put the indie people kind of in the same area, because or else the people that are more popular, their lines will swallow your table. You know what I mean?
okay, right.
You see what I'm saying? So like the worst thing you could do is to be an up and comer and you're next to like somebody that, that got a line, and then you're like, dang man, like why are these people, like people can't even see my line because there's people in front of it and they're not even for me. You know what I mean? And so that's something that that you want to evaluate. And then the other thing that I would look at is look at the, like, whatever, like we're talking about Heroes, right? Look at the previous guests, right? But the thing about Heroes, dog, to be honest with you, that guest list is so massive, you could probably get a seizure just scrolling through the names, because it's just names, dude, right? And so unless you're in the know and know who these people are, right, they're just names. They don't have like the pictures on them, whatever. Heroes is like one of those shows. I would say it's like, it's what I told cats, for me, it's like the Olympics, dog. So if you want to set up there, if it's Olympics for the Sig Slayers, then it's the Olympics for the people that are signed in the comics too. It's the Olympics for all the people that have tables there too. You see what I'm saying? It's an Olympic event on all levels. So I would say if you're going to go there, you have to be Olympic ready. You got to go through your nationals. You know what I mean? You got, so like I hit up a show that's not as big first to work out all of that. So I'm telling you, man, it's Heroes. Like, I'm not saying this in a negative way, because what I like about Heroes for indie creators, there is a lot of opportunities there for engagement. Because as one of our earlier guests mentioned, he was seeking out up and coming artists. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a perfect avenue, because a lot of those brand names, their guest list fills. I mean, their commission list fills up before the show even starts most of the time. So the only people that's left are the people that got talent that might not have the notoriety. You know what I mean? But a real collector, we don't look at all the names and all the razzmatazz. We look at, can you draw? Can you tell a good story? And so Heroes is a good place for indie creators. I think it's a good place for all of the above. If you're trying to set up, if you're trying to go as an attendee. So I would say, my advice to you is to find an email of whoever's in charge. Like,
Yep, I got their info. They had invited me. I just couldn't make it this time. It sounds like I need a super booth, one of them super booths when I come in there. That's really extravagant, lit up, feet, and let the work do its talking because I usually set up and we'll probably end up with some action figures and stuff there. And we let the computer play some of the comic books while the people are just kind of scouting it out. So the super booth is kind of the way to go if I want any type of attention.
Yeah, that's what this cat had, man. He had a big old booth, but he was out there. Don't get it twisted. He was out there hustling, dude. He was out there, he had a dude with a tablet in his hand. He had another guy. The guy with the tablet is the guy that got me. So it was like they had a whole little system, But by the time I got through the whole pitch, I was sold. I was like, cool, I'll buy this. And in fact, he's going to be interviewed on the channel. And furthermore, DM me on IG, Sig Slayers, because if you do have stuff already, for people to see, we have a program just for that called Self-Made Comics that we do once a month. And if you have anything, Kickstarter or stuff that you can ship to the public, that's what we're all about. So you landed on the right channel to get your word across. So please, Sig Slayers, and all of our IGs are in the body of this video. So definitely, if whatever your work is, we'll like to expose it to everybody, because that's what we're here for. That's the cause that we do here on this channel. And so, but yeah, man, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, dog.
Man, appreciate it. I'm gonna drop into the audience. I'll drop my joint in the back here, and
Yes, sir.
I'll be looking up your links as well. So appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good night. All right, man. That's dope, man. Tonight is lit. Tonight is lit, man. SEG. I got a couple more things I want to show real quick before we get into the last bit. Okay, so I just want to go over what Mark said again, because this was absolutely nuts, man. We had freaking Scott Snyder hostage. Now, here's something else I want to mention. The comic sketch art had Scott Snyder going all the way to the end of the show. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about the security, the people that run the convention center. They were circling the wagons of Scott Snyder's booth, and they had to kick them out because they refused to leave until everybody that paid for their signatures got served. And that's a noble cause. But it came at the expense of everybody getting booted. So what you see here, guys, is Scott Snyder and his team still committed to making sure that all the signatures are done. He said, hey, either you guys can come back tomorrow or you can follow us at the Westin right now. And so a bunch of, Sig Slayers to the umpteenth degree with glory holes and flat bags, right? With their wagons and briefcases, all followed Scott Snyder across the street into the lobby on the second floor where the auction was taking place. And here you go. I am, being the ambassador that I am, overlooking the SIGs. There we go. I'm saying, okay, there you go. This gets my blessing. That gets my blessing. Now I'm joking. But the truth is, I was helping out my homie, and it was a paint fest, dude. And so I was like, look, man, we can't leave this dude with all these books to monitor all of these wet markers. And it was tense. Like Mark said, it was like, we were all defining what it means to be dry, But I thought it was cool that, I wanted to see the game, and so did Scott Snyder. So they had the laptop up, and so we're able to keep an eye on the score, and then I was able to get a beer and go to the auction and come back. This was a pretty player night, because I was able to do this and get the best of both worlds, watch the auction and see this. What did this Scotty Young, I think, went for 15 grand or something like that. It was pretty crazy. And so, yeah, this was our Heroescon. I give Heroes, I don't believe in 10s, but I give it a 9.5. And that's the highest I've ever given. I mean, that's me going back 20 years. Okay. I haven't felt this way in 20 years. All right. So that says a lot. I've seen everything. But this was the last thing. And so next year for me, the last con off my bucket list other than Lake Como is Terrificon. I'm not going this year, but I will be going there next year. Now this Heroes rigmarole, this seems like something I need to go to every year. I thought it was something that I was going to be like, oh, okay, I'll taste it and say I experienced it. But not after this year, man. This seems like this is somewhere I need to be every year. And what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and that's why even though I had an abbreviated visit this year, still made it out there. My suggestion, if anybody's going to come to Heroes, is to be there Thursday, because the action starts Thursday night. People already in, they're setting up the booths. You're getting to get stuff. You're getting to see people, and stay as long as you can, because it's a fun time. Meet a lot of people you see. Generally, there's a YouTube creator dinner. I don't think they've done that this year. Jim can correct me if I'm wrong. I will say that I'm disappointed in Mark in the sense that he didn't say the highlight of his show was riding with me in the Uber over to the airport. I mean, I thought for sure that would have been his highlight.
I mean, especially sitting there, I didn't see you. I was like, hey, man. I was like, I was just telling my fans, I was like, yo, I'll get a chance to see everybody. SCG's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. And you were the one person that we was just like, we didn't align. But there's Baltimore. So we'll be at Baltimore. And we'll have a table there so you can't miss our cherry red station. Now, the Claw, what up, man? Great question here. Was it like MegaCon with creators doing whatnot live streams? I'm going to tell you this, dog. There was too much money being made in person for anybody to be doing any whatnot. If they were doing whatnot, that's because like either like people like Martin Simmons, like I saw him do a whatnot stream over at Scott's Collectibles, but his line wasn't like that. Okay, they did whatnot around the line. Okay, once his line died down, they fired up the phone, and that's what happened. But cats like Snyder and stuff, they did not. I think about it, man. They were getting kicked out of the dang venue, so it was not a place where, you could really whatnot, because especially like these fans, man. These guys, these are 8th degree black belt collectors here. I mean, a freaking riot would start. They start doing that whatnot shit, in the middle of a popular line.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. eBay Live has a booth there as well. But to your point, they stay so busy that like I don't have to do that. The reason why a lot of those collector or vendors do that is because, hey, these are like dead times, and so everybody's here seeing anime voices, actors, seeing celebrities. They're not here seeing comic creators. The people showing up at this con, they're true blue. They're coming in there. They're getting the SIGs. They're meeting the creators. They're hunting the books. So they ain't got time for all the other.
Yeah, man. And so that's what I liked. And for the people that saw the stream did after MegaCon, I mean, I was livid. I wasn't even in that line with Clayton Crane, but I just don't like bad form. These cons were once upon a time about the connection between the creators and the fans. And it was, the few times out of the year where you could see these people regionally, and, to forego that experience, but use the venue to connect with people virtually. I just think that's scummy. You could do that anywhere. You could set up your own studio and do it there. And so you want the ambiance of a Comic-Con, but then you want to neglect the people at the show. Like I don't like that. So the Claw, I feel you on that, but Heroes was as organic as it could be. I hate to say it. Like it was. I really don't have nothing negative to say other than talk about the bitchy ass paint markers, and that's not Heroes. That's the culture. That's commentary on where the SIG culture is going, where Sharpie is losing. You know what I mean? It's like Spalding, right? Spalding has the NBA ball, and then Wilson gets the contract now, and you got to get used to shooting with the Wilson ball now. You know, it's like, what? Like, you know, for years, you know, as long as I can remember, it's been Spalding, right? And so now what? Posca is the official marker of the con now? Like, where are we? Where are we? I just think that we are. I agree with you with one thing, because you did mention something earlier about, yeah, you don't want to feel like you're being pushed through. I don't like that either, right? But it's common sense, dude. If you're a popular person, right, then you want to be able to be like, okay, here's a positive Jim Lee example. Jim Lee is the pro at it. Todd McFarlane is the pro at it. He's somebody who can make you feel special while spending 25 seconds with you, maybe, right? And boom, boom, and everybody's good. Everybody loves the Top Father. No one feels, oh man, the Top Father's a dick. You know, no one feels like that. So I think that there's that. I think you're right. There's that balancing act, but I do think your mode of marker should not be a distraction or impediment to the flow. It should not be. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Digger Jim. You will make a killing. I know I'll buy a couple of them, you know. And here's another one, dude. If you get a good little print job on them where you can make them like X-Men, or, you know, make like Wolverine with claws holding a fan or something like that. There you go, you know. Make them like Crocs, you know, where you got all different flavors of them. We're crazy like that. We're collectors. What my man saying there? Jim Lee line was only 40-minute wait time for me, and that was fine. Better than waiting for Whatnot streams at the end. And 40 minutes for someone, you got to think about how many people were in Jim Lee's line. Like, shout out to Albert Moy. Albert Moy and how they run the Jim Lee line, which I'm going to be in. Are you going to Jim Lee line in Baltimore? Now,
the moment ticket.
I love it because they lay your comics on a board, and then no one touches them. And then once Jim Lee signs them, you take the board and go down the line, and then you decide when to rebag them. That flow, I mean, that's modern solutions for modern problems here. And then also, I'm reading Derek's comment here. Also, with the way paper has changed, sometimes those art pens are the only ones that can actually effectively sign them. Yes, and not the clout chase here, but we just actually spoke with Mark Bagley last night about this, because I was ragging on the paint markers to him, and I was like, "Hey, you're one of the few people at Heroes that stuck with the black Sharpie and occasionally use the paint marker on those surfaces." You're absolutely right, Derek. Yeah, there comes a time where you need them, but we're talking about people that want to be boutique Sig Slayers, okay, where they want to have every color of the Fruit Loop on their dang comic, man. And I blame Clayton Crane a little bit on this too, with his little multicolored Sig thing. You remember that? He has a signature menu. Did you guys forget about that? Clayton Crane has a menu like you're going to IHOP, okay? And he has like 4 options. I am not joking, guys. Clayton Crane he's a modern day miracle. I mean, he's changing the game without even drawing a page. It's crazy. Like, when the last time Clayton Crane did an interior? It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it has been.
It's been a hot minute. I'm looking at, like, I got him on Ultimate Fallout 4. I know somewhere in that range of time. You're the bougie Sigs, man. I'm telling you, this is it's crazy, man. But overall, guys, I have to keep it real. I'm going to talk about the markers, but I kid you not, man. I had this is probably in December. I'm probably going to be talking about Heroes still. This was a fantastic show. I can't wait to come back. Everything that Mark said from Legion of Comics, he was not lying. That was facts. Everything that he described was spot on. And so I tip my hat off to Mark for Legion because he told me exactly what I was going to experience a week beforehand. And damn it, he was absolutely right. All right. In conclusion, guys, let's talk about some things, wrapping things up for tonight. We got here. Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, we got Chad Harden, guys. We got Chad Harden. Now, this is a long overdue interview because we interviewed Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, the Harley Quinn team. But guess what? People think about Amanda Connor because of the covers, but really it's Chad Harden's interiors. That was the workhorse of that run. And so Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti were the writers of those Harley Quinn runs, and Chad Harden. So we get the chance to talk to Chad Harden. He was at Heroes as well. And so we're dropping that interview next Tuesday. But I'm letting you guys know July is going to be on fire. We just interviewed Sean Gordon Murphy today, so that's dropping in July. We interviewed Mark Bagley yesterday, so that's dropping in July. And we got an interview with Mark Chiarello tomorrow, and that's dropping in July. So we are killing it, guys. I'm going to say that. And just to remind everyone, we got an awesome slate of the process coming up, but I want you guys to check out that Doug one. There were some announcements made in there. That was dope. Check that out. The Peter Tomasi, this one here, this was one of my favorite interviews because Peter Tomasi is one of my favorite writers of all time. Talks about the $1 Trillion Kid, but I have him go through everything. Green Lantern Corps, Detective Comics, Black Adam, New 52, you name it. We talk about it in this interview, as well as Rockefellers and just the overall Ghost Machine stuff he's been doing since he's left DC. But then I can't fail to mention that we also talk about his stint as an editor for DC and being the editor for Grant Morrison Batman. So the beginning of that Grant Morrison run with him and Andy Kubert, Peter Tomasi was the editor for that. So this was fantastic interview. And then just dropped yesterday. I can't believe it, guys. I think this year we interviewed the top 2 artists in all of comics. We interviewed Dan Mora, and then we interviewed yesterday Nick Dragata, Absolute Batman. And there was a few people that interviewed him already, but not the way we do it. And we get a lot of information that you guys want to know about the future of Absolute Batman, about the origins of Absolute Batman, and just overall, you want to know about Nick Dragata and his approach as an artist. I have to say, as the producer of this channel, this was my favorite one to do as a Batman fan. Interviewing somebody that's doing a Batman title in the prime, and Absolute Batman has taken over all the comics. DC is winning, so all of those Marvel fans, y'all can eat it, y'all can suck it, y'all can do whatever y'all want with it, okay? Because DC is on top, baby, and it's because of people like Nick Dragata. And he's also responsible for the resurgence of Scott Snyder's career as well. So you can find that out now because it's on this channel, the Sig Slayers channel, Sig Slayers station. So check that out. But this Thursday we have Chad Harden, and we're going to be back next week. And so Tony, the Signature King, is going to be joining me next week, guys, and we're talking more about Sigs. But somebody asked about books, and I'm sorry,
I'm with the man of the hour. This is the Sig Slayers here. I'm with DJ Big Phil. What up, baby?
Man, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Man, all right, there we go. I forgot to show comics. Duh, we didn't have a stash one, so I'm gonna do that real quick, guys. So I gotta show books, and I'm so sorry that I didn't show books. And where is he at? Where is it at? Where's that comment? Somebody said, "Yo, where are the books?" Here's the book. So I got some Marvel stuff, SCG, in my stack. Would you believe that? So I was in Chris Claremont's line, and so I got some Chris Claremont stuff done. Right? So we got this done. This is Uncanny X-Men or X-Men 101. This is a pretty decent copy of it. So if you guys want to see some bangers, I'm about to show you some bangers real quick. what's this at here? We got it's got some Alpha Flight goodness here. And these are all bangers. They all look great. You guys already know what time it is with this. This is beautiful. Just got this done. Man, it took like, 2 months off my life sitting in that damn line, though. But met some good people in the Chris Claremont line. Another banger. Then I told you guys about Art Adams. I know that because I got Art Adams on this and Chris Claremont. And he said this is the true first appearance of Gambit. So take that argument with Mr. Arthur Adams. So, what up, Marvel fan? Hey, guess what? Sig Slayer got Marvel for you. This is for you. Just looking at you, kid. It's Marvel. And then got Wolverine. This is a nice copy too. And then hold on. And then I got New Mutants. And I had to get Claremont and McLeod. I was like, dude, get a double on this. I was looking for the OG New Mutants, but I couldn't find it in time. But I got this. I settled for the series. And then now for DC stuff. Okay, so yes, I do have DC stuff. I don't know where my Lobo went, but I have the first appearance of Lobo signed. Here we go. This is another copy, Absolute Batman. So that one, and then you know me, guys. I had to get my Absolute Batmans done. These are my PC copies here. I do have some that I'm going to sell on whatnot, but these are my PC copies. You know me. I gotta have. This is for documentation purposes. Here, these absolutes. These were life altering, meaning that it took life away from me. Saying these lines. What these are Fire and Desire. These are all the first prints. Absolute Batman. Double sign. And people like to get the sexy variants, but these covers are the best covers for Absolute Batman to me. Yeah, there's a variant, or two somewhere, but they're not better than these Dragata covers. They're not better than these at all. And then here you go. Nobody got this. I'm about to show you guys. Nobody got Absolute 10 triple sign. Show me this. Show me your homie that got this right now. Dragata, Delato, and Snyder. Absolute Batman 10. First print. So this is the first printing here. Sig Slayers, guys. Heroes, So yeah, I got some shit, I covered stuff, but, Absolute, baby. You guys know I'm in Gotham City. This is all in Gotham City right now. How am I gonna not have some Absolute Batmans to show you guys after Heroescon? I mean, that one. Here we go. Tall ass Wonder Woman. And then last but not least. And then you guys already saw this one. And this one's the bastard going to the Night's Watch. Okay, because it has the paint on the back. But look, see the little chippy there too? So that means somebody landed on this one too. So there's another one that got messed up too. So this one's messed up on the front and back to me. SEG, you got some books too. We got to see what you got.
Yeah, I got just for the sake of the show, I went and pulled out some. So got Rye number 5 here. I had already gotten it signed by Sal Valletta several years ago. Joe St. Pierre was a last minute ad who was actually not on the website. I noticed it on his IG before I left, so I was able to add this to the thing to get signed. Wolverine 75, the infamous Claws. So I'd already gotten Larry Hama to sign this back in 2019. Adam Kubert signed it, and then Mark Pennington, who was there at the show, signed it right up here. You can't really see that great in the hologram.
That's fire.
This is the Deathmate tour book. So when Image and Valiant teamed up, which was made plenty of sense back then, and if Image folks had actually held on to their end of the bargain and it hadn't been at the end of the bubble, it could have been good stuff. But nevertheless, this is the tour book. So they would get, they had an East Coast and a West Coast tour bus, and the creators, both Valiant and Image, toured around comic shops, doing signings, that kind of thing. So as you can see, this has quite a few signatures on it. And for the sake of the show, I added Joe St. Pierre. But I've got Jim Lee's and Joe Quesada's, Marat Michaels, Dan Fraga, Bob Hall, a bunch of them that have been added over the course of time. So
that's fire.
And I did have a pre-show commission. Rich Haberman, I think is his last name. And he did this Exo Manowar 14 homage. He's done a couple of these Calvin and Hobbes homages for me before, and he's done a bunch of them. You can see them on CAF. So I said, hey, how about we do this one? He had mentioned he had some room left, and I picked it up when I was at Heroes. So pretty dope Exo Tiger War. And then I picked up some stuff from Clayton Henry, which I've done filed all those. This was one of the big pickups here was a Dan Mora page. So World's Finest, #2, got some good Superman action, Batman action. So you'd like to see his panel, and then them together, right? So it was a nice action panel.
And that's Felix Faust in there, I think, too, right?
Yeah, the big guy right here.
Yep.
And so, anyway, he it was at Anthony's booth, and Anthony said, "You know what that guy paid for that?" And I was like, "Well, that's really not relevant. You didn't take it in at that. So what do you want to sell it for?" And so I was able to do a package deal and put.
Oh, wait a minute! What? Anthony had that?
Yeah.
Anthony had a Mora?
Yeah.
Damn.
Somebody had traded it in at the show.
Woo.
So, so I've seen it. That's the thing about the shows, whether it's Heroes, Baltimore, shows where Anthony's at, is to go like Saturday and say, hey, what have you taken in? And look and see what he took in before he gets a chance to go to the website or anywhere else. And because he wants to flip that thing, rather quickly. So,
damn, you got a fucking Mora, bro? At Heroes?
Yup.
Man, you say that shit so nonchalant, man. That's not okay. That's not okay, man. God damn.
And the thing about it, I should have went over to Quan and said, "Do you know how much I paid for this? Less than you."
I thought about saying you got that from Quan. Hey man, shout out to. I took a picture with Anthony, man. I should have fucking put it up. Anthony, he's the best in the game, man. Like, man, good grab, man. That was a Sunday grab.
No, Saturday afternoon.
So I was still there.
Yep.
What? Dude, I didn't even have the bandwidth to even dig at Anthony's. I just went over there to say what up. I took a picture with him, and that was it. Damn, dude, you got a freaking Mora. That's a good Mora too, dude. That's a good one. Like if you a DC fan, ooh, damn.
Yeah, it's definitely a good example, which is what I wanted out of a Mora page. And World's Finest, fun series. I'm still reading it. I think it's on issue 51 or 52 now. So,
wow, man, we gonna end on that note, man. Dude, SEG with the mic drop, Dan Mora page at the end. Show it again, man. Jeez Louise. Oh my God, man. SEG. Be sure to subscribe to the Southern Comic Geek Sig Slayer Station, man. This is one of the best This is one of the best Stash Wars lives of all time. Be sure to join us next week. I will be doing giveaways next week. I didn't have the bandwidth for this week. Plus, I still owe a couple people. I gotta ship out the ones from last time. So I'm gonna do that this when I do my shipments for whatnot. So I am giving out the giveaway stuff. But we'll be back next week with the Signature King. We will be expounding more on markers, and I'll be showing you more books. That's not even the tip of the iceberg of what we got at Heroescon. So I'll be showing you guys continued stash from Heroes. But until then, guys, this has been great. Mike the Sig Slayer speaking for Jason the Southern Comic Geek. We are out. Peace.